yo. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? We are here. I am here. I am live. We are, it's the Perfect Journey Podcast. It's your boy TPJ. As always, find me on Twitter, Instagram at Real TPJ. That's REELTPJ. And here on the first, sorry, I was about to say, I don't even know what I was finna say, honestly. Here, here on the Perfect Journey, not the first journey. We talk about life. As I said before, if you watch me, you know who I am. It's your boy TPJ Hoops and Brews. Really, this is just more so meant for me to be able to, have a different voice, different lens, to bring in different people that are really, really cool and exciting to talk about, to hear different perspectives, from me as well. We are currently in the middle of a lot of stuff going on in the world. So who better than to bring in, than the worldly, legendary Los Angeles reporter, Mr. Nick Hamilton. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it.
Hey man, thanks for having me, dude. I mean, we've talked about this for a minute, so we just had to coordinate schedules. You a busy man around these streets, so
you are too. You are too. You everywhere. You at spring training. You at the Lakers games. You at the Clippers games. So I appreciate you taking the time to really come through and be on the show. Sorry, I don't know what to do with my cell phone. I don't know where to leave it on the table, but I keep our old mics used to be on the table, so
right. I remember.
On the table, but now we got the little. But anyways, thank you, Nick. I appreciate you coming through. As I do with every Perfect Journey podcast, I talk to my guests about one word that they want to talk about in particular, and I allow the guests to pick the word just because I just feel like it opens up the opportunity for people to be able to really, just have a genuine conversation about whatever it is that they may want to talk about. You, in particular, you pick media. You're the first person to pick a word that wasn't a feeling. So let's talk media. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the current state of media? Obviously, the coronavirus is spreading like wildfire across the world. It's officially, classified as a pandemic by the World Health Order. So we are, in the middle of a pandemic. But some of our grandparents, lived through like that whole 1918 thing. But I mean, that's a long
the Spanish flu.
Yeah, exactly. But still, that's been, for us, or at least for me, that's it's the first one in my lifetime. Media, how do you think that's going to affect media, and why do you want to talk media?
Well, I think, when we discussed this a few days back, we were talking about subject matters and things like that. We had no idea it was going to come to this length, right? And to this pretty much state of emergency that we're currently in. And I mean, it's amazing how much it's affected a lot of different aspects in life, period, not just beyond the media, but just in life. When you look at, the information versus misinformation, I've always said misinformation is is more deadly than no information at all. Because with no information, you can always have opening to gain it. But when you have misinformation, now you got to go back, eradicate that, try to clean it up if you can, and then try to disseminate the proper amount of information that's accurate, which you do double and triple the work trying to do that. So I think the media has done a pretty good job as far as disseminating the proper information. I think there's a lot of battle.
The government's done a worse job than the media.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then plus, too, you have people on social media because they take two words and they run with it. So then, that's the fastest way we get our information now is through social media,
unfortunately,
and digital platforms, which is a blessing and a curse. I mean, when you look at it, because it gives the blessing part of it gives the opportunity to get the information out there, or you have direct to consumer as far as letting your consumers know or your fans know what you're thinking. It's the most direct and accurate way to do it. So I think it's a blessing in that regard. But then the curse part of it, like you illustrated earlier, was the fact that, damn, man, like they're putting out this type of situation, but what is the real situation? I mean, this pandemic reminds me of, remember the movie Contagion?
Yeah.
And movies like that, because I went back and watched it, and it was like, damn, dude, like, remember the first initial reaction about the coronavirus was that, hey, man, it was bats. It was like something had to do with bats in like some foreign land, right? And then it changed to, well, it was some elephants that kept like sea walking on the bridge.
Really,
and,
I didn't.
It's all, dude. It's if you go through social media, dude, it's all kind of like different animals.
I believe the theory that I believe is that
it's all kind of crazy.
The government was developing a weapon and somebody got sick while developing that weapon.
I mean, I've seen that too.
That because it just, I don't know, it's this disease seems very targeted. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem like it's affecting everybody it feels like it's affecting a very particular group of people, and then if those people infect someone that is, you know, that is not within that group, then they get sick.
it's
But other than
casualty
that,
of
in
war.
terms that, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's a general, like it's not like the regular flu where everybody
Right.
gets it.
Because if it were, I mean, it has the flu type symptoms, and I think that's the deception. The deceptive part of it is the fact that it's like flu like symptoms. So a lot of people, I think, don't even pay attention to it
Yeah.
and say, "Oh, it's just the flu. I'll
Yeah.
get something over the counter, or
Yeah.
I'll go to the doctor later," and it turns into the coronavirus where it fills up your lungs, you can't breathe, and then you end up collapsing and dying. So I think it's very deceptive how they're doing it. I don't know personally. I mean, I can't. Obviously, none of us can put a fingerprint on it where it came from or where it originated. We all have theories. We all have ideas of or some type of a logical thought process of where it came from. But the problem is, okay, we know we have an idea of where it came from. But what do we do to contain it? What do we do to eradicate it? That's the problem. And that's what I try to focus on is like, okay, what are the steps to prepare us to eradicate this thing? Because like anything else that's man-made, that's created, there's always an antidote. So what is the antidote? What is the solution? I think time and time again we focus too much on, well, how did it happen? When did it happen? It's like, okay, it's happened. It's happening. It's continuing to get worse. It's like a brush fire that breaks out. Well, what was the point of the origin of the brush fire? Who gives a damn? Their house is about to be burnt down to the ground. Let's surround it with a perimeter to make sure that these houses don't get burned. What are the steps in place to make sure that we can save these homes or animals or people or whatever the case may be? I mean, I think we just sometimes we focus too much on the wrong things instead of focusing on, okay, look, how can we contain it or and eventually eradicate it and make sure that we could prepare ourselves for the next one, because I think time and time again we become reactionary instead of being proactive. And that's part of the problem too. So I think, look, we're in an interesting space. It feels like the end of days. If y'all into like the biblical stuff, it does feel like the locusts are coming and the four horsemen of the apocalypse are coming. But I mean, listen, it's something we have to deal with. Unfortunately, it messes us up.
It's not going anywhere. So.
Nah, not at all. I mean, it messes us up because we were talking about this off air.
We're in media.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the NBA, the NBA, the NHL, Major League Soccer, Major League Baseball released a joint statement saying that, hey, look, we're not allowing any media in the locker rooms anymore. If you looked at this week, even at Lakers practice, they had people making sure that the media was 6 feet.
Oh, wait a minute. So okay, I didn't know that it was a joint statement. I thought that. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that it was a joint statement.
I mean, it was a joint because I got because I'm also on the MLS media email list, so they'll send us like.
Okay.
But they had all of the four major sport leagues, their logos on the memo. So it's like, okay, this is a joint effort. Like this is what we're going to do. Now it was already talked about the NHL imposing that, but then days later, all four decided to say, okay, look, we're not letting media in the locker room. You can only go in the press room. You got to stay 6 feet away if you're going to practice facilities.
Yeah, I didn't know it was. I didn't know the NHL and MLS. I didn't know it was like a joint thing. I thought it was just. I thought it was just the NBA trying to be proactive. But even the Warriors can't play in the arena anymore. The mayor has banned all events with over 1,000 people.
Yeah, well, it happened in Washington too. That was talking about in the state of Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, they were anything less than 2,000 people. More than 2,000 people or something to that degree. They were going to ban public.
I just find that a little. I just want to know why those numbers. Those numbers seem so arbitrary.
Yeah,
they seem entirely 1,000,000% to be arbitrary.
Here's the thing with me. Like we were talking about this on Tuesday night after the Laker game because basically the talk of the town was, hey, are we going to even be here the remainder of the season? I'm talking about we as media members, because there were a lot of media
we as human beings.
Well, I hope we're here. I try to think of some type of positive that we're going to be here in the days and weeks to come. But as far as the media, because there were a lot of media members that were expressing their thoughts, and they made a lot of logical points as it pertains to, hey, man, how are we supposed to do our jobs effectively and be able to connect to our audiences? Because you have an audience, I have an audience. Thousands of media members have their own audiences that they connect with, that people follow them or take hold to what they have to say. How do we continue to do that effectively if we're handicapped with our positions? And so Like I told a fellow colleague, I said, look, it wouldn't surprise me if they start letting the fans, telling the fans, look, you guys can't come. And they said, well, you think they're gonna lose that much money? I said, well, here's the thing.
The players are the money.
Not only that, here's the thing too. Because yeah, people bought season tickets, you got PSLs, you got suites. But here's the thing. There's a thing called insurance.
There's also a thing called television rights, which they're making way more money from them ESPN commercials. Which now that everybody got to sit at home and watch them, you know
Right,
what I mean?
exactly. That's another aspect. So I mean, they're not. Yeah, they may have to give the
I
money
forgot
back.
about the insurance aspect.
Yeah.
Of that
So
too.
I mean, you don't think that's gonna be written off? Natural disaster, act of
Oh
God,
yeah.
all that stuff that's
Yeah.
written in the clauses
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
get in
yeah.
insurance forms. All that stuff is under there.
Yeah.
Even though the NBA has lost over $400 million, but by not dealing with China,
Yeah.
and that report came out last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're not losing any money per se. Now, it may appear to be that
Yeah.
way, but when they get the insurance forms and do all their business as a corporation, as an entity, they're not really losing any money, like you said. And then you got to look at the TV aspect of it. You got to look at the commercial rights, because where else are you going? Where else are you going to find these games? You're going to find them either via television, digital streaming, or you're going to find them on radio, right? So somebody has to pay for that time, commercial ads, things of that nature. So it has to be something that that's going to be sustainable. And I think this is going to be probably lead us into the playoffs. I don't see it anytime soon being lifted.
I was talking to a few people about that. I don't even necessarily know if this season is going to be finished. I think that I'm legitimately serious. I think that this season probably won't be finished until the winter, and if not the winter, I think it may be next year. And I think if not next year, then if they are able to finish it in the winter, then we just gonna have a situation where we get a 60 game NBA season next year, and that's what's gonna happen. Because I think if it does start to get bad enough over here, regardless of how many few people you think you have in an arena, I mean, it's still at the minimum gonna be 100 some people in that arena. You know what I mean? And these players, they gotta travel, they gotta fly, they gotta interact with other people, the pilots, stewardesses, bus drivers, limousine drivers. At a certain point, if it gets as bad as people are predicting it to get, then I mean, I don't even know if we're gonna finish the season. So I feel like they're just in a rush to say, hey, let's just try to get as many games played as we possibly can, under the best circumstances for our players, so we can make this little bit amount of money, and then hopefully we can figure something out if we got to postpone the season, because even the owner of the Hawks was talking about moving the season back to December.
Yeah,
so
that was
even
that was
from their
talked about,
perspective,
yeah.
they might be like, you know what, we just gonna start the season in December and see how it goes, and enact these new changes or whatever. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will finish the season because contractually they have to. If they can't, I mean, obviously, if something gets so bad, obviously they can't finish it. But I think, like you said, I do tend to agree with the part of they're trying to get as many games in as possible. I think they will finish the season. I think they, even if if fans miss the first round of the playoffs, but then they're able to say, well, you know what, we've detected that we've been able to contain it to a degree where we feel like people aren't going to be directly affected anymore. So you can start letting. And maybe they do something where instead of having court-side seats, they move the seats all the way back, kind of like when you go to hockey arenas, how the hockey dynamic is 200 by 85. So maybe that perimeter exists where it's 200 by 85, so nobody walks in that perimeter but players, coaches, obviously the scorers table where they have to keep the stats, obviously security and things of that nature, but there will be no fans in that perimeter. So, yeah, you're going to lose some money in that regard in the playoffs, because we all know those seats go for a very high premium, especially the deeper you go.
Yeah, especially for the Lakers,
Yeah, Lakers and Clippers, yeah.
My friends have been hitting me up with all their conspiracy theories. They're like, bro, the Lakers and Celtics going to the finals. The NBA got to make that revenue back. Literally, the NBA got to make that revenue back.
Yeah, but
Lakers Celtics going to the finals.
I'm like, okay.
Watch the refs. I'm thinking that's all we're gonna be able to see now. That's the other part about it.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching the Foot Locker guys. I mean, this is what we're not paying to see this. We're paying to see, and even LeBron kind of adjusted his stance. And people say, oh well,
They
LeBron
said,
just
Bron, don't you want that check?
But also too,
Bron
I
said,
think
"Hey,
I
yeah, I
think
want
Bron,
that check.
yeah, for sure.
I want that check."
But but see, that shows you the power of LeBron too,
Yeah.
because I think Adam Silverman went to LeBron and said, "Look,
Yeah.
I need you on board with this because I need your voice locked into what we doing."
Yeah.
And I think too, I think LeBron was caught in the moment too. I think he was caught in saying, "Well, look, man, why am I?" And I think it's an admirable gesture because he's saying, "Look, man, I'm playing for y'all. I want the fans here because that's how he makes his money too. Like the fans follow him." AD, Kawhi, Giannis.
They buy the jerseys.
Yeah, they bought the merch,
They buy
the
the- they buy the
shoes, and everything.
LeBrons.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a good gesture to say, hey, look, I'm doing this for the fans. Even if whether you feel it was genuine or not, it was a good gesture to say, hey, man, I'm making this publicly known. I'm doing it for the fans. So y'all got to ride and make sure that y'all get to stay in the arena. Translation. But I think once he calmed down and understood, like, okay, look, dude, you still got to play, but you can't say that kind of stuff because now, it makes us look bad. So I think he adjusted it. I mean, even on Tuesday night, he said
do you want to get sick? No. Then.
But see, here's the dilemma.
player.
Like, here's the dilemma. Like, it's concerning to me because, look, can you imagine if some NBA superstar got sick and TMZ or some type of outlet reported that, hey, they were in the hospital with coronavirus and they didn't report it, eventually reported what TMZ found out about. Do you realize the lawsuits that the NBA would have on their heads because one of their star or superstar players got infected because they didn't do the proper things that they should have done by protecting them?
What's proper though? Like,
what they're doing now, saying they didn't do anything at all to say, hey, well, look, we're just gonna put sanitation stations in.
Eventually the government was gonna be like, nah, y'all can't do that.
No, but I'm saying initially. But can you imagine? I mean, you can sue. This is a country you can sue any. Hey, if you cut me with your hangnail, I can sue you for whatever, right? I mean, this is a country where you can sue anybody.
Emotional distress,
right? Mental anguish. Like, I mean, we can sue anybody. I mean, but if the NBA didn't take any kind of measures and say, look, all we're gonna do is put some sanitation stations in for people to put sanitize on their hands as they walk in, and they didn't do anything, and somebody contracted, that virus. Man, you imagine the lawsuits, and then it's gonna be a trickle down effect because then somebody else gonna say, well, you know what, man, I was coughing, I fought it off.
And guess what? That class action lawsuit, they gonna get about $10 million to split $10 million ways.
maybe, yeah, maybe.
If that's the case,
So,
hey, I was there too. No, I'm joking.
Nah, but I mean, it's so freaky, man. Because
Rona,
when somebody cough, now you looking like, hey, man.
And I'm a smoker, I smoke weed. It's known if you know me personally. So like I got a little smoker's cough, you know what I mean? That little like dry throat. Let me get some water. But even now, I'm like, man, I might have to stop smoking weed, man. I don't even want to be around people out them looking at me sideways. But also,
I'm telling you, we all look around. Hey, man, like even last night,
but
the
also
other night,
I'm just
man.
like, if these are the end times, fuck it.
Well,
with all due respect, if these are the end times, fuck it.
Listen.
Not a legit fuck it. If these are the end times,
I don't know that.
I'm not assuming it is.
All right.
I'm not making any assumptions because I know you. When you listening to this and you looking at me on the camera now, you're like, what the fuck? No, I'm not saying that it is. I'm not. I am a pessimist. Call me a pessimist, but we usually are the most prepared.
Well, I'm an optimist that happens to be prepared because at the same time, I still try to have a glimmer of hope. Realistically, to be clear, realistically, I'm not one of these, it's going to come out the sky in the sunshine. No. But I do think that we just have to prepare ourselves the best way we can because, I mean, hey, man, a sneeze can go 35 feet. Somebody can sneeze on you and way over there, and then it those embers or whatever, those germs hit you. So, I mean, it's no telling, man. You just gotta live your life the best way you can. That's all I can say. I mean, enjoy your life, live your life the best way you can. Enjoy it, be responsible, and move forward, man. That's all you can do. I mean, as far and we talked about media. I mean, we've been in the media
world will
game.
never be the same, though.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't even think media will ever be the same, to be quite honest.
I don't think it will definitely be a difference because
I think a lot of small outlets are gonna suffer from this.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I even tweeted. I was like, man, this sucks because even if you're a small outlet, everybody's like, yeah, well, it's not that bad. Y'all still can be there. And I'm thinking, yeah, you can still be there, but if you gotta be 8 feet away, you can't just talk to everybody like you normally could. That kind of cuts down on the content and a lot of the reporters that aren't equipped with like the best cameras and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot harder to get that stuff. The good thing about what we've been doing is that we always set up where the network set up, like the ABCs, the
Right.
ESPNs, and all of them set up. So we gonna be back there regardless, getting that footage anyways. But it does suck for a lot of smaller outlets and things. Of
Sure.
that sort.
I mean, that's why I carry a mic. Even on my iPhone,
Yeah.
I carry a mic because
Yeah.
at least I have audio quality, so the audio quality can match, the video quality,
Yeah.
and we can still provide, our consumers with the information that they desire that they want. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it does suck for other outlets because when you look at those that can't be there,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of outlets they sell content
Yeah.
to other outlets and
Yeah.
say, hey, you know what,
Yeah.
hey, can we use
We
this or
literally
can we
had
do
somebody
that?
hit us up about that a few weeks ago about trying to get some of our content. So even for us as a business,
Yeah,
that
as a
sucks.
company,
I mean,
yeah,
as a
exactly,
company,
'cause
as a
if
media
you're not
companies,
there-
yeah, I mean we both own our media companies. You know
Yeah.
how it is.
And if you're not
Yeah.
there to get the original content, you can't take. It's like, well, what good are you? You can sit here and talk about it,
Yeah.
but if you're not in the mix,
Yeah.
it's a huge difference with people playing on Twitter
Yeah.
and Instagram talking about stuff and actually being there.
Yeah.
You and I, Pavi, people like that, we're actually in the mix.
Yeah.
We're actually in the middle of the arena, so to speak. So we can get a bird's eye view on what's going on, tell our perspectives
Completely
from what's
different
going on.
perspective.
And we're there. So it's not like we're just making some stuff up or regurgitating what we heard driving in somewhere. We're actually there. So it definitely will affect everybody, but it definitely will affect us because if they ban the fans, we not coming in.
Yeah.
So guess what happens now? All we can do is just
Yeah.
commentate on what we see on television or what we listen to on radio.
I do a good job of that too, but I mean, but still, it's a different.
it's tough. I mean,
it's a lot
'cause
different being there. It's a lot different. When
Yeah,
they're
I
telling
mean-
you don't know what them like. Man, I just saw Kawhi Leonard the other day doing in person.
Right,
Stop.
behind the scenes, in the locker room where the cameras
Yeah,
can't go.
yeah, exactly.
Right, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it will forever be changed, but like anything else, man, we have to adjust. I mean, it's like when the digital age came,
Yeah.
before, back in the day in the
Talk to
early
him.
to,
Talk that reporter. Talk to him.
I mean, in the early to mid 90s, you had, big size computers. People still were using typewriters and things like that. They didn't want to conform, and then here comes the digital age before the internet really, really hit. Probably around 2000s when the internet really started to come alive. I mean, it was around in the mid 90s, but it was dial up.
Yeah.
Now you start to have
This.
yeah, exactly. Those modems and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, look, everything changes with time. Sometimes some things are forced.
Yeah.
Some things are just kind of gradually coming along and grow. This is one of those things that they're forced, and so now we have to adapt. It's Darwin's theory of adaptation.
Yeah.
You have to adapt to survive, or you will be extinguished.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Same thing with the digital age. I mean, a lot of people didn't want to conform to the digital age. I mean, when I started doing this, blogging was a cardinal sin. Like, bloggers didn't get the respect that they get now.
Yeah.
Bloggers were looked upon as, oh, you guys are fake journalists. You guys are wannabes. You guys don't work for this newspaper or this outlet or whatever.
The thing I've realized is there is no distinguishing differentiator between a journalist and a blogger in today's day and age if they are reporting news.
Yeah, not
now,
anymore.
If they're just blogging their feelings, then yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, people that were legitimate, that couldn't get on.
There's no difference because there's been a lot of reporters that used to write and or went to college to be a writer, and then they got out, they couldn't get the job they wanted to, so they started doing some other stuff like, hey, I'm gonna start a vlog or a blog or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I started in 09.
Yeah.
So in 08, 09, blogging was not as popular or as well received as it was in 2016, 2014, 2015, and beyond. And so, I started blogging because I couldn't get anywhere. So I was like, well, the hell with it. I'm just going to start writing. Even though I sucked at it at first, and I went back to school, went back, learned some different techniques on a variety of areas that just not just journalism, but on a variety of areas. And, became more well-rounded as it pertained to that because there's different facets of media now. And the one thing about media, as you well know, is that you have to be a chief with many hats.
Yeah.
You can't just be the reporter.
Yeah,
you have to be the
reporter,
marketer.
the
You have to
sound
be
man, the cameraman.
You got to be the
marketer
social
man,
media director. You got to be the camera operator. You got to be make sure the lighting is proper.
Yeah.
If you got a homegirl that knows how to do makeup, you know what I mean. You're fortunate.
Hey, I need some help.
Right, you need the foundation on to make sure this look looks right. You got to be able to be the advertiser, the marketeer. You got to do everything, man. And so,
how do you think personally? Not to cut you off,
no.
no disrespect. How do you think personally, as someone who has you? Okay, I'm assuming when you first started in '09, as a journalist, you were doing more written articles, right?
Sure.
So how has the landscape shifted for you personally, as going from a person that's had to do a lot more written articles to being a person that's had to? Cause now I see you. I mean, you do as much video content as everybody else is doing. So how has that worked for you to shift? And also, you're always on, what is it, NBC, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're always on NBC on the sports shows. How has that dynamic shifted over time as you've kind of grown and gotten from that point where it's just like strictly more written stuff to being like much more of a media kind of, you have to be a media entity as well as be a journalist? Can you talk about that?
Well, I think growing up, I used to write, right? And so writing was almost the main bread and butter when I started. But when you started to, again, going back to evolution, the dumbing down of society as we continued on this journey, people read less and less.
Yeah.
And so now you got to conform to, hey, if you want to continue to be relevant, what do you need to do to be relevant and still have people have eyeballs and eardrums on what you're doing? Well, you may have to do more audio content. You have to do more video content. Well, how do I get into the video content? I've always loved doing video. Like I've always, I played around even when I was in high school. I would play around and like do little segments. Like, again, you trial by error, right? So you look at, okay, how do I get this done? What is my goal? Learning how to write a treatment, learning how to, deal with scripts, even if there's the smallest amount of scripts, learning how to do that. Even now I'm still learning things. Like I'm still learning how to, what's the proper way to do a voiceover when you're doing a piece, you're putting a project together. How do you go about cutting up, splicing up, trailers and making sure the trailer is still interesting enough where you can do that 1 minute trailer where it could captivate an audience. Those things that I'm still learning and I still watch, whether I ask or I'm watching from afar. So that's what I had to transform into. I said, okay, I want to do more video because it's quick, it's to the point, and I don't have to spend a hell of a long time about it. Because listen, it's direct, it's to the point. The consumer can get it,
watch it,
and they're gonna watch it because it consumes them. If I do a 3 to 4 minute video, boom, okay, I'm done with it. Hey, I titled it.
It takes a lot longer to write those articles.
Oh yeah,
too,
because
right?
you want it. Because it depends on how concise you want to be as well. I mean, I think if you want to just do a synopsis of what you saw, maybe you can knock it out, maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs. But if you're trying to be concise, if you're trying to paint a picture, because the way I learned was that you always try to paint a picture. You want to bring the person there. You want the person to feel like they were there, even though they weren't. I apply the same principle to video. I try to bring things in that. And I don't always make it, but I do my best to try to get it to that point.
I think you do a good job.
Thank you, sir.
I think you do a lot of a better job than a lot of guys. So I think you do a great job.
I just try to get better, man. And I'm not saying this because you guys are here, but I watch you guys do what you do, and I say, okay, damn, all right, now I gotta do it like, okay. I'm taking.
But that's just 15 years. Of
I'm taking
experience
pieces.
being a filmmaker, though. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm taking pieces of every,
As you
okay,
should.
I'm watching
The best
this
artist
person. I'm
steal.
watching this person. I'm watching this person. Okay, I'm gonna take a piece here. I'm take a piece there. Okay, now I gotta add my ingredients into it, and I gotta mix it up like gumbo. So
if you're young and you're listening to this, the best artist steal, and it's not in a disrespectful
no,
manner.
it's just
when we
it's
say
a
that.
complimentary way.
It's complimentary way because when you see things that are good or things
No
that
question.
you think are revolutionary, is your idea. I mean, it's your responsibility as an artist or as a creator to not pilfer their ideas, but to create or create your own evolution of that idea.
Yeah,
That's why when you see the Travis Scotts, he came from Kanye tree, but you see as he evolved, he don't sound like Kanye. You know what I mean?
No.
A lot of his influences are disappearing, things of that sort. So
no, you're absolutely right. I mean, when you look at what it's doing, and you look at the long, you either playing for the micro or the macro, right? So if you want to do the short game, you'll do less to do the short game because you have a short goal. If you're you're playing the long game and playing for the finish line, then there's certain things you have to adjust along the way. And I think even now, like when I tell kids when I talk to them in colleges and things like that, I'm like, look, don't think you're gonna come out of here making $60,000 a year your first year. You lucky if you make $60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being a reporter is not a glamorous job. It's not a high paying job. It's nothing. You know what I mean? You have to really love doing what you
You gotta
do
love what
to
you
be
and you gotta sacrifice,
yeah.
man. You gotta be willing to sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Like I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, even if you're a social media person,
Yeah.
if you're doing stuff behind the scenes, camera op, editing,
Mm-hmm.
editor, if you want to do, be a boom, holding a boom mic, doing lighting,
Yeah.
things like that, you're not going to get paid the king's ransom.
Yeah.
You're going to get paid
A working man's
based upon
salary,
experience.
basically. Yeah, I mean, based upon experience, but also more of a working man's
Sure.
salary than it is. Like, not everybody's gonna be Stephen A.
Bruh.
Not everybody's gonna be Stuart Scott. Not everybody's gonna. Now,
Everybody gonna be Dan Patrick.
yeah,
I mean,
shout out to Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick is really one of those guys that is really taken his thing and really evolved it to where he can literally just do what he does now, and that's just be an old man, pop his shit, and sit and have
Be
fun.
out.
Yep, and then be out.
and travel when he feels like it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what you want. And he still loves what he does.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
If he didn't love what he was just like, if I do believe the day will come when he feels like it's a job now, it's a chore. He'll say, okay, you know what? It's time to hang it up.
Do you ever feel like that?
No, not now.
Okay.
I'm always developing into different
Yeah.
things. Like I got so many different facets and layers to me and what I want to do, but I know it's timing. I know it's being able to build. Like when I started out, like I said, I worked for free. My first 13 months of doing this, I was in school. I interned for 21 hours a week. I worked part-time, and then I covered events on my own as much as I can as a blogger. My very first game I covered was Crenshaw High against Dorsey.
Really?
If you in LA, you know those games get very intense in LA. And I'm not just talking about the school rivalry. I'm talking about some street stuff. So if I'm at Dorsey High School at night and you got LAPD lined up and you got the ghetto birds circling, making sure that everything is all good because we don't want any issues because of Crenshaw
I'm not
High.
from LA, so whenever I hear
Dorsey,
LA people talk that talk, I love hearing it.
it's like, okay. And I had to wait for the dude to show up, right? Because he has the camera. So I'm sitting here.
Where's
like,
Dorsey at, if you don't mind me asking?
Dorsey is near it's near Baldwin Hills.
Okay.
So it's just
okay.
it's near the jungles.
Okay.
If you're familiar with the jungles from Training Day.
Okay.
And then Crenshaw is obviously in the Crenshaw district.
Okay.
Home of
that
late
makes
Nipsey
now
Hussle.
now that you telling me that, okay, it makes a lot of sense.
So
now.
the streets like to intertwine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes the streets don't like intertwining, but at least back then.
Yeah.
And so again, this is '09. So I mean, then I covered a girls' high school basketball game at Westchester High. So that was my next gig. So when I tell people, I've worked for free. I've worked part time. I had no life for those first 13 months. None. I had no life. My friends barely saw me. I missed out on parties. I missed out on a lot of stuff, but I had a goal in mind. And I knew from day one, okay, this is where I want to ascend to. This is the pinnacle I want to reach. And if I don't reach this pinnacle, it's my own fault because I got to be the one to put in the work. Yeah, I had to prove myself time and time again. I still do, especially as a black journalist.
Yeah.
As a black journalist or a person of color, you have to prove yourself time and time again because what you have to do is you have to fight your way to get into the seat. And unlike your white counterparts, you have to fight your way to remain in the seat.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to learn. I knew it, but it's different than when you experience it. And again, that's not to say that every person that don't look like you is racist. No, it's not, because I've had people from all races help
Usually
me
most
out.
of the issues that I have in when I'm dealing with stuff like that is usually from black people because they like, well, you ain't gonna come here. It's like, all right, well, look at what I'm doing.
Well, here's
You know
the
what I
thing.
mean?
Here's the thing I look at. The one thing I'll say this, and I wish Pappy was here because I'd say it to his face too. The one thing I learned, I watched y'all. Y'all are not habitual line steppers. When I say that, I'm saying y'all know how to deal with protocol. You guys get in there, you do your business. As Tretch would say, you do your dirt all by your lonely, and you get in, get the content, do what you got to do, finish it up, and put it out.
Yeah.
And you don't cross people that you shouldn't be crossing, if that makes any sense.
I don't care about those people.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
all of those people used to make fun of us and tell us that we weren't gonna make it, and then I was like, all right,
But that's what I'm saying,
y'all
but
don't know
you
what
got-
y'all created. Y'all pissed me off. Literally, the only reason
No,
why
that's
we
good.
doing any of this is because when we first started Hoops and Brews and we used to have like 1,000 followers, all of them same media members that I see now that shake our hand and smile, used to be like, y'all fucking idiots, y'all stupid, y'all not reporters, y'all don't be at the games. And I'm like, y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know how much content I done made. I done made more content than y'all ever gonna make. And this is moving toward a content thing. Y'all gonna see me, and when you see me, I want to hear them same words. And now when they see me, I don't hear nothing from them. I don't have no problems with nobody, but also
And that's what
I'm
saying.
there to do a job, and not to politic. That ain't my life, if that makes sense. No, and it's no offense to reporters who it is, but I feel like some reporters feel because it is their life, they want to play the game. You know what I mean? I don't want to play the game. I don't need to be best friends with any of these players for me to feel fulfilled. I know that if they want to watch Hoops and Brews, they gonna see my merch that I got on, my hat that I got on, and they can go watch it. They can hear they can see my opinions rather than reading them and them being behind a paywall like
that's the
lot
thing,
of these
dude.
guys are. So yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You guys go in and you don't cross people. That's what essentially that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You guys go in there, you do your business, and you get in, you get out, right? And that's what happened, dude. How you think I started with radio?
Yeah.
I started my journey in radio. I was an intern at ESPN LA.
Okay.
They used to ask for people when I used to man the phone. So if people that call in, I want to talk to Stephen A. I want to talk to. Well, what should call them? I used to have to screen the calls. And some personalities, I won't name names, were a lot more harsh than other personalities. Okay, and they used to have, okay, who wants to get on the radio? I used to be the first one to raise my hand. Had zero experience, but I knew.
And you got a great radio. You got a great voice in general.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, and I knew I could do it, even if I screwed up royally on 50,000 watts. Yeah. I knew I was gonna get on that air. They would always turn me down. They would never let me on. I said, okay, all right, all right, I got you. So what I did, I waited. I found me a studio that had an internet platform because that's when like the whole Sirius XM movement. Everybody wanted to do like digital stuff before it got really super popular. And I found a station that did that kind of thing. So I started doing my own show. And I started hosting my own show. And I started bringing people along. And I did it for like 2012 to the top of 2012 to like February 2012 till about, I would say like May or June of 2013.
Okay.
And, I started doing it. And we grew. Like we started out with like 1,000 listeners that month. Because it was, they already had a kind of a functioning network. So obviously there was a lot of their people just promoting it and stuff. But we grew to about 8,900 per month.
Okay. Well, good.
And then it just, we couldn't, because it was like you had to pay as you go, and that gets expensive.
Oh yeah, it definitely.
So I couldn't do it no more. But it was like, I got that experience, and then I said, okay, if I ever get another opportunity, I'm gonna do it. Now I understand what it's like to be put my feet in the fire, and that's what I did with radio, and that's the same thing I did with TV. People said, there was people where they told me, oh, you ain't gonna be able to do radio, you do this, you can't do that, because I come from. I used to model. I modeled for like 3 or 4 years.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was signed to LA Models for 3 years.
All right, okay.
When I looked at my better days, what I'm saying, my better in shape days, okay. But I learned even from that because I learned how to network with people. I learned how to accept people for who they are. Yeah. Right. Because we all have our idiosyncrasies. We all have our hang-ups. Of, man, I ain't going over now. But I learned to be like, okay, now I had to learn how to be more diplomatic. Because there are certain situations, even if you're going to have to swallow your tongue sometime in order for you to get to that next level. You have to be more diplomatic in certain situations. Yeah. I ain't going to let nobody disrespect me because at the end of the day, I'm a man before I do all this reporter shit. Yep. Period. Yep. But I know how to be diplomatic a lot more, and it taught me going through those things, dealing with the modeling industry before I said, okay, this is it. My ceiling has been reached because certain things I ain't doing. I feel you. But, and that's when I knew this was my lane. I had been running from it because I didn't know how to go about getting into it. I feel you. Not like it is now. See, back then it was like, well, damn, dude, how do I, if you don't go to school, how the hell are you supposed to get in? Now it's like, well, shit, I ain't got to go to, if I'm an influencer and I got like 10, 20, 30,000 followers and I'm popping, good. Hey, what's going on? Right? Yep. It ain't like it is back then. I don't mean to
cut you off, but I know you told me you had a hard out for the time you had to get out of here. So
it's all good.
I want to make sure that we hit your hard out because I don't want you to be.
No, we good, man. I'm a little flexible, so we straight. Okay.
I'm a little flexible. You park long enough?
Oh yeah. No. I ain't paying.
No.
Bro, I ain't paying.
Because I thought it was the meter. Sometimes when people come over here, they be like, "Oh, I only pay my meter." I'm like, "Nah, you should always pay."
I'm not making my checks payable to the city of LA. Not like that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the meter because I'm like, "Oh, we gotta go." Yeah.
No, I mean, it's just what you learn, man.
So go ahead, keep talking.
It's just what you learn.
No, I to get out, so I just want to make sure you good. But
no, it's just what you learn throughout the course of life, man. I think, media is a microcosm of life. No matter whether it's art, entertainment, writing, being a personality. It's all a form of life, right? And that's the thing I'm learning. That's the thing I continue to learn. And I try, some people you try to help. Some people take the help. Some people don't.
Yep.
I'm sure y'all experience that as well.
Yeah, I experienced it a lot, but at a certain point in time, I just had to realize that people don't want it as bad as I want it.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Nobody wants to, I don't, you know what I mean? If people don't want to win as much as I want to win, then I don't need them around. You know what I mean? And I think that's why you survived as long as you did, because you wanted it as bad as the guys that were up there.
I wanted it as bad as I want to
Some
breathe.
people dream about it, but dreaming about it and wanting it are two completely different things. And if you want to work in media, you can dream about it all day long. But them YouTubers that's making millions of dollars, they weren't dreaming. They just started doing. And that's the difference.
I'm gonna tell you in the words of the famous Dog Pound, I don't like to dream about getting paid. So that's my thing. I want it as bad as I want to breathe, but this is not the only leg. This is just a step.
Yep.
Eventually, I'm gonna start EPing some things. I mean, I create shows.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say is that I've created some shows where, podcast wise, where, you're able to be free and you be able to be creative.
I really enjoy coming on your radio show.
Yeah, thank you, man. It was fun having y'all. I got to get y'all back on too, man.
I'm down.
Especially now, because with everything that's going on,
man.
But I mean, listen, I had a show stolen from me. I dealt with a particular individual that was an opportunist, but because of the personal situations I was going through in my personal life, I didn't really see it and pay attention to it like I normally would have, because there was other things. Obviously, hindsight being 2020. You go back and realize, damn, I should have handled it a certain particular way. And that show is still going on. But in one day, I will tell the story in its entirety. And, some people ain't going to be happy. And like I tell people all the time, when I give a damn, you be the first to know. Till such time, oh well. But I learned from those, and it taught me something. It said, you know what? If God gave me a gift in me, and to be able to create and be creative and a creator in a sense, then if I did this, then I decided to be patient and wait and create something else. So now I've created 2 other shows that are in development beyond my own sports show that you came on the morning after. So now we're developing that. Now we're developing other things, and our doors are starting to open. I mean, again, dealing with NBC, going on NBC once a month, going on AM 570 every week here in LA. And being a part of the iHeartRadio, conglomerate, and iHeartMedia conglomerate. I mean, developing my own media. I had, there was a time where I had a business partner at the time, and that was still a learning process for me. But then as you go into it, you realize if you're shifting most of the load and you're not having the same vision, it's time to split.
Yep.
And I'm the kind of person, I will shake you like Dre shook Death Row. I will be out. I don't play around. I ain't got time. Look. You can have it.
Yeah.
I walk away with peace of mind and my freedom. Because guess what? I can go, and that's what I did. It took me a while. I created my own media, my media outlet. I got a nice, naming rights or distribution type of deal that I have right now, which I worked extremely hard for. And I put a few people on, and I hope to put some more people on. But at the same time, I want to be able to expand that conglomerate to a point where it's a full-fledged media service company where we can start doing other things, and we're actually involving other aspects of media. Like we're starting to do documentaries. We're starting to do I got a script I'm developing right now, that I'm working on that we're trying to get to some streaming outlets. So I mean, it's a different type of script that I haven't seen. We're not regurgitating what's already out there like Hollywood likes to traditionally do.
They love it.
And sometimes it makes billions of millions of, if not billions of dollars. But a lot of times it's downright sickening when you're a creative individual. It's like, well, damn, you can't be more innovative than that. Like you couldn't think of something a little bit different than what you put out there. It just comes to a point, man, where you just gotta take, like you said, grab it by the horns, man, and ride that bad boy out till the rotors fall off, and that's what you gotta do. And I think in this media game that we're in, it's essential that we continue to elevate and don't be on this whole. I know a lot of people, and I'm sure you heard this bullshit too about, oh man, we all gotta stick together, we gotta stay down. But then no, you want to stick together as long as it serves your purpose. Yeah. But when somebody hands out, because I've been down this road where, okay, somebody asked me some information. All right, man, here, I give it to you. Ain't no sweat off my neck. Like I am who I am. Ain't gonna change me. But then when I go to you, and I say, well, hey, look, man, do you have such and such, such and such? You play Scooby Doo with me.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I'm like, oh, so that's what time it is. All right,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah.
I got you. We could be cool,
Yeah.
but we'll don't you. I won't give you eye water to cry with.
Yeah. I mean, and even me, as I'm getting older, it's a lot of things that I've just been moving away from. It's a lot of people that I've helped get a lot of opportunities and do a lot of stuff for, and I've been dealing with some personal stuff for the past 6-8 months. And those same people, when they was down and they was out, I was always the person hitting them up, asking them how they been, what's going on, how they feeling, do they need anything. Sure. And then you see how things quickly shift when you the person that's in trouble or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not about like I did this so you owe me. It's just common decency as people that either work together, people you helping to give opportunity to, or people that you consider to be friends, because being a friendship is a two-way street. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Friendship is a two-way street, and being a friend to somebody, I don't know people that are friends where it's one-sided. And if you get in a one-sided friendship, then that's not a friendship. You being used. So I think a lot of young people, because I really wanted to, like, my goal is to try to make this so that way a lot of the younger people that watch us on Hoops and Brews can be able to listen and kind of take some other things from it. But even with what he's saying is like, you really do have to lock in and look at who's around you and who you foresee being around you, because your ideologies match. And if you're around a bunch of people, whether you're working with them or you got your own thing and you bringing people along, you have to make sure your ideologies match, because at the end of the day, whether it's coronavirus or whatever it is, however you go, whenever you go. They don't go with you. So live your life the way you want to live it, so that way when you go the way you need to go, and when you go stress free.
Hey.
And that's the only thing that I'm learning as I'm getting old, is just like a lot of stuff that I used to just be so up in arms about and stressed out about, even with like this kind of media stuff. Because I remember once we got the Clippers coverage, it's like, man, that's a huge thing for our company. All right, cool. Well, let me see about getting Lakers. Then we didn't get Lakers. I was so disappointed. Like, oh man, blah 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 blah. But it's like, well, you stick with the Clippers long enough, you'll get to cover a Lakers game, and we did. So, and that was like the last team I think that we hadn't covered at all. So it's little stuff like that where you could sit and sulk over it, or you could just be like, you know what, it's not meant to happen at that point in time, and you just got to keep working harder toward it.
The one thing I learned, I learned a lot of stuff, but I'm saying the one thing that I learned from one of my mentors, God rest his soul, is he told me, stay the course.
Yeah.
No matter what, stay consistent and stay the course, right? And I think a lot of people, they get discouraged so easily, where they fall off the wagon and they don't want to get back on. And I think that's I think 50% of the contributing factor why you succeed or why you fail.
Yeah.
Because you don't ride it out. You don't stick to the plan. It took me a while. I covered Lakers. There was some things going on behind the scenes with an outlet I was dealing with, and it messed me up.
Yeah.
I had to go back and repair those relationships. I had to go back and stitch up those relationships that had nothing to do with me, but because I was connected or affiliated with a particular company or outlet,
bad business
it
travels.
messed it up.
The news of bad business travels.
But the blessing of it was this: because I developed those relationships already.
Yeah.
When I did talk to them, they were like, "Well, we know you.
Yeah.
So okay, so what are you bringing now to the table?"
Yeah.
So they pretty much knew my character. They knew my work ethic, and that's what I stress to even younger people. Like, look, your work ethic. Well, you may not be the most talented person, because I ain't the most talented cat, but I will outwork your ass in a heartbeat.
Very
you will
talented.
not outwork me.
He's a little humble, a little modest. He's
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm saying, listen. Talent can keep you in the house.
Yeah.
But work ethic will get you through the door.
Yeah.
That's the password to get you through the door. You will be standing outside of the house and trying to get into the club. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You ain't getting in. So,
and
I've seen cats. Look, hey, bro, let me tell you something. Quick story. So we were out in Atlanta for Super Bowl, right? So my cousin, and I got a lot of people that live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But Super Bowl weekend is crazy. Like everything goes sky high. It's like New Year. Imagine New Year's Eve times 7.
Yeah.
So everything that's normally $20 is now $200, right? So we fall into the strip club, right? So my cousin knows the doorman, right? So we pull up. I'm like, God damn, look at this line. I'm like, man, you know what, bro? I always say, you know, hey, when you go to ATL, you gotta go to the shake joint. You know what I mean? So we fall in, and it's this line. I mean, it looked like at least a good 45-minute line.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
like, bro,
I'm cool
I don't
on
do
that.
no lines. I don't even like
I
doing
don't
lines
do
at
lines
Disneyland.
either. Rolodex, no list.
I don't even like doing lines at Disneyland or Magic
Yeah,
Mountain.
yeah.
So I damn sure ain't about to. He's like, nah, man, come on, hold up. So we walk up. He see his man. He go over there talk to his man. So I'm there standing there like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
People looking at me like, who the hell is this dude? I'm just like, all right, man, I'm out of my element, Jack.
Yeah.
So he come back. He said, man, come on. People looking like, who? We just walk right in, right? I was like, membership does have its privileges, right? So, and I say that because it's funny because when you know the right person and the right people, that's what's gonna get you in.
Yeah.
So I say that I attribute that to work ethic and versus talent. Because there's a whole lot of talented people, but they lazy as hell.
Yeah.
And they ain't gonna get as far. You'll get further than them because you outwork them.
Mm-hmm.
When they sleeping, you working. When you sleep, they lounging around, maybe doing a little bit of work, but they lounging around. Yeah. So you recharging, and then you get right back at it. Yeah. That's what I was doing.
I never stop working.
That's why, I'm the same freaking
never
way.
Stop working. My girl be mad at me, but it'll be 12 o'clock.
Bro,
I'm checking
I can
the
tell
numbers, looking, retweeting, making sure the this is right, that's right. You know,
brother, I can tell you how many relationships I done got out of because they was cool with it at first. It sounded all glitz and glamoury at first, but then when you start getting to the meat and the potatoes of it, you like,
yeah, me too.
Oh, well, you don't never have any time for me. You right. You want to cut me a check? You have all the time you need. Cut me a check. We can talk.
If you want to be here forever, I'm gonna have to take care of you too.
No. My thing is cut me a check first. Then we can talk about that later. Cut me a check right now. You want my time? My time costs. Cut me a check. But you know, I'm just saying, like it's something like you have to be able to get in and do what you have to do. And like you said earlier, you have to surround yourself with the right people. I remember something Will Smith said a long time ago, and it resonated with me to this day. Mm-hmm. The 5 people that are around you are a representation of who you are. Mm-hmm. And it said, and I said, well, why 5? And I said, oh, think about this. 2 arms, 2 legs, and the head, which is already, and the body connects everything. Yeah. So your body is the things you have in common. Mm-hmm. You can't be complete if you don't have 2 arms and 2 legs. Mm-hmm. And then the body, obviously the head controls it all. Yeah. So you're not complete. Yeah. So I said, oh, okay, that's what he meant by the 5 people. Yeah. If you have 5 people in your circle, but I get what he was saying. And I said, damn, dude, that's some real game.
That's a cold game.
That's true. Like
dropping gems.
It's absolutely true.
He does. People love to say he just talking and just saying stuff like, nah. If you listen to what he's saying, it makes sense.
Speaking.
You just can't be Will Smith. So in your mind, you like, well, I can't be Will Smith. So he just saying something that's impossible. Okay. But what he's saying is, no, you can be Will Smith, or you don't have to be Will Smith. No. Be better than Will Smith.
And that's what he wants. And and I tell people this all the time. I can't listen, dude. I can't stand lazy motherfuckers.
Me either.
I can't stand it. I tell people all the time. I said, listen. I'm a single dad, right? I have a 6-year-old. I'm a single dad in every sense of the way. Like there is no he goes somewhere weekends. Okay. It's just me. Okay. He been with me since he was 3 full time. He been with me since he was 3 years old. Okay. So I've gone through the court system. Thank God I got 100% across the board, which is not really heard of in the state of California.
Especially for a black father.
Yeah. Hello. Going against the system. Hello.
Bucking the system.
Hello. But, grace of God, hard work and dedication, that's what it'll get you. And so, listen, I said, I have to, now being a parent is a job. Providing for him. Mm-hmm. Still building a brand. And I'm looking at some of these people that don't have nothing. They're not married. Yeah. Some of them don't have rent or, mortgages to pay. And that's all fine and good. Yeah. But then you should be outworking me. Because if you, trust me, if I didn't have a responsibility to maintain. You'd be going way harder. Man, I'll be much further along in the game. Yeah. But I know that. Yeah. But I work with what I have, and I tell them, like, dude, stop being lazy. Stop dragging your damn feet. Yeah. You should be out here thirsty. I had to tell a couple of people that I used to work with, yo, you got a platform. Just let me know what you want to do. Yeah. You ain't got to wait on me. Yeah. Waiting on me might get you might damn near be starving. Because I'm not paying attention to that.
Yeah, because I'm not waiting on you. I'm doing
what I gotta do. Cause when I was working for other people, a couple people got mad. I got the boot. Yeah. So that's why I tell people, Getting canned ain't shit.
Yeah.
Cause I've been down that road. It ain't shit. Okay, all right, what's the next step? Okay, yeah, you down for a couple days. All right, what's the next one? Let's move. Cause they got mad because I was aggressive. Well, guess what? If I wasn't aggressive,
I wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here right now, almost 11 years deep in the game.
Yeah.
With still stuff to learn.
Yeah.
So, just because I'm waiting for you to drag your damn feet, hell no, I'm going to have to go get it.
Yeah.
And it made your outlet better because guess what? Now I'm sitting in the press box with your outlet amongst the ESPNs and the Foxes and the NBCs at that time.
Yeah.
Before I got to that level.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it was. And they got it was ego tripping.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do it, so it was, oh well, I'm the editor. I understand you the editor.
Yeah.
But shit, maybe I should be doing your job because maybe I'm getting more than what you getting right now. You fat bastard. So, you know,
that's very specific slander.
You know, I mean, no, it ain't no slander. This is the truth, man. You know, I mean, you know, when you sometimes, you know, you work for, you know, it's a great opportunity for some of these outlets. I mean, I've had more fantastic opportunities than I've had bad opportunities.
Good.
You know, I'm very fortunate to you know, Fred Rogan is a guy that took me under his wing. Mm-hmm. Rob Parker is another dude that took me under his wing. You know, in the early days, Monty Jones was a guy that took me under his wing.
Really? Okay.
Several other people. I mean, Carrie Champion. I mean, every time I see her, you know, Shelly Smith, you know, always, you know, is around. You know, just a plethora of other people, man. Darren Horton to Kurt Sanders. I mean, I can go on, man. I'm not, trust me, I'm not here to name drop. Yeah. Okay, I'm not. I don't floss. I mean, anybody knows me knows I'm only doing this because it's your show.
No, I
don't do that. You know me. I don't say squat.
I don't care about people who about the name
but I'm just
drops.
giving you indication.
If you actually know them, I hate the name drops when people don't actually be.
Oh no,
them. But
that's what I'm saying.
You know
I can go to these people right now. I can look at the phone.
Yeah.
So he'll tell you if he sees my phone, he'll tell you if I'm BSing or not. But I mean, I say that to say because I'm very fortunate. I mean, you got a lot of people that if you do people that see you working, they'll start to invest in you because they see that you're really serious about this life. Because when you start showing up as a young pup, where these big dogs are, and they trying to figure out how the hell. Okay, one time, okay, yeah, that's cute. Yeah. You start doing it 2, 3, 4, 5 times now. Now it's like, oh. How the hell he get in here? Now sometimes it's like, ooh, okay, I see you, big dog. All right. And then sometimes it's like, the hell he get here? Yeah. And trust me, I had a situation where I almost got into it with a media member. I'm not gonna pull their name up, but they was pretty out there. And you know, I don't tolerate. Like I said, I don't come at people disrespectful. In a disrespectful and egregious manner. Yeah. I try to treat people, you know, I give people a benefit of the doubt. Hey, if you cool with me, I'm cool with you. I'm gonna come at you cool. And if you reciprocate that, great. If you don't, okay, I'm done with you. Yeah. So, you know, we trying to get for the same story. He back up on me. I say, hey man, you know, you mind not, you know, be mindful of where you are. He look at me like I ain't nothing. Okay. See, you gotta understand, I live south of the 10. I live west of the 110. There's a different LA in that sector. And again, I'm not a Billy Badass. I just defend what is mine as a man. Before we do on this reporter stuff, with this media personality, we are men. And the ladies that are listening, you guys are women first before you do all of this stuff. So I told him, I said, well, look, bro, we got 2 options. You can either respect my space, or we can step outside and we can talk about it in depth. That's your choice. And so I seen one of my guys was like, hey man, how you doing, man? Come over here, man. And after a while I figured it out, okay, he trying to diffuse. Yeah. But at the time when you in the mix, you don't really see it like that. So you get the disrespect. Yeah. But now as I gotten older into the game, I continue to learn, it's like, okay, you disrespect because I'm a threat to you. Yeah. So now I'm a threat to you. So now I'm the dude, I'll poke the bear. Yeah. If you ever watch me on social media, I can be the real jerk on social media, and I enjoy it thoroughly.
Me too. People be like, "You mad?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm over here laughing at you."
I am
showing my phone to my girl.
Mad.
Like, yo, they mad.
I am thorough. I enjoy it. I get you upset. I poke the bear. I stick you in your stomach. Whatever you gotta do, it brings me joy to my soul. That's hilarious. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just different facets that you have to learn, and I continue to learn. I mean, eventually, I'm not going to be doing this forever. Yeah. I'm not going to be 50, 60 years old still doing this. Props to those that do, but that's just not me. So I'm looking to evolve. I'm looking to elevate, and I'm looking to bring people on that are qualified. And people say, oh well, you. I said I look for my own first. But I'm not looking for my own for the sake of because you look like me.
Yeah.
I'm looking because you look like me, but you
But you work
qualified
it, yeah,
because
you work as
you
hard.
represent me.
Yeah.
Most importantly, you representing yourself.
Yep.
Because if you represent yourself,
Yeah.
then
Exactly.
I'll be like, yo, yeah, I know them. Like, look out for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about opportunity. We all have to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but nobody's personally responsible for nobody can say, yo, this is the guy, I'm responsible for his success. Hell no.
Yeah.
Only one person is responsible for my success. Me. Because I earned that shit.
Yep.
Outside of God, I earned the shit. So, yeah, people have helped me along the way and continue to help me, and I'm forever grateful for that because they didn't have to.
Yeah.
People that give me compliments and compliment me, that's why I always tell them, I make it a point to always reach out to them and tell them thank you because I feel you don't have to say that.
Yeah.
You could have kept it to yourself. You
Yeah.
could have been like, gave me the finger, whatever. But you chose to send me something positive or a compliment or something to encourage me to keep going. So I'm always appreciative of that, and that's why I was making a point to say thank you. That's just me though. I mean, you and I had talks, off the cuff. We're not gonna get into it, but because I'm like, if I'm genuinely concerned, like either I like you or I don't. Ain't no in between.
It's me too.
I don't like you.
Or I don't.
And there's a reason why I don't like you. Ain't because you got on green shoes today and I'm mad at the color
of
green.
your skin.
Yeah,
or
I don't
what
care
your
about this
religion
stuff.
is, how tall
Bro.
you are, how fat you are. It's about you. Respect is a two-way street.
I got so many people that I've been fortunate to know in so many different walks of life. I know people that are straight, gay, adult film stars, to a couple politicians, to some athletes, to some people in the media world, to all kinds of people, man, to people that run certain corporations and things like that. Like that's why I can do sports and pop culture. I've been able to go into different hoods, like different neighborhoods, I can go from the Nickersons to Crenshaw and Slauson. I can go, and I'm not saying this to be braggadocious. I'm saying this because I come into people's areas respectfully. A lot of times people come in there, oh, they just a bunch of gang members, or they just a bunch of thugs. Or they ain't own nothing in their hood. That's not their hood. No, it is their hood.
Yeah.
And you need to respect it as such.
Yep.
When you walk in somebody's house, you wipe your feet off.
Bitch, don't wear no shoes
Shoes in my house.
But on that note, Nick, thank you so much for coming through. I
Hey,
appreciate
brother,
it.
I
I know you got to
appreciate
get out of here. You stayed at 20 minutes over, so thank you for
Hey,
that as
man,
well.
it's all good, brother. I appreciate you having me, man.
No, anytime. And
One thing I will say
go
real
ahead.
quick
Yeah,
before
go
we get
ahead.
out of here.
Feel
First
free.
of
Go
all,
ahead.
man, I'm going to say this right here now. I appreciate you and Pavi for what y'all done
Thank
and
you.
what you guys
Thank you.
continue to do, and
Thank
who you guys are inspiring, because you guys are inspiring people in your age group and your generation. Even though y'all get crazy sometimes, I'll be like, I got to turn the sound down because y'all be loud as hell in my eardrum, but I love it. I love the enthusiasm, but I love the fact that you guys have created a platform all your own that you guys can call and put your fingerprints on. So I appreciate you guys for what you do.
Thank you. You're a part of my new platform. This is my new platform. This is more of my lifestyle stuff. I'm gonna be having more podcasts, more stuff, dropping more films on here when I actually get back to doing all that kind of stuff. So this is my new platform, really, that I'm just trying to build up and get up to take off as well as we did with that. And I feel as crazy as we went with sports, I think I can do the same thing with kind of this lifestyle, people and blogs thing. So I really appreciate you for coming through, and thank you for
man.
always supporting it.
Hey,
Seriously.
man, always,
Seriously,
man. I
thank
mean,
you.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I tell people real quick, don't ever limit yourself to what you can do. People, you may start out one way, but you don't have to end that way. I started in sports. I'm now doing pop. I've always wanted to do pop culture. I've always been in music. I've always been a fan of music. I'm a hip hop head, but I'm a music head and I'm a film head. I love watching movies. I love critiquing stuff, and that's what I've been able to do now. So that's why I tell people, no, I'm a sports and pop culture media personality. That is my title, because that's what I can do. I can interview anybody. I can do whatever I can to push it forward, and that's what you have to do. You cannot put yourself in the box unless you're dead. Period. Point blank.
Exactly. Nick Hamilton, go ahead, get your plug in real quick. Let them know where they can find you at on social.
Hey man, make sure you follow me on all things social media at Nick Hamilton LA. You can also follow me at Nightfall Media, which is NITEFALLMEDIA. Thank you so much, bro.
No,
Appreciate
I
you. Gotta
appreciate
go.
you. And as always, make sure you drop a like, you subscribe to the channel, and I will be back soon with more conversations with my close friends. And if you want to be a guest on this, you got to wait till this coronavirus is over. Because if I don't know you, you can't. You're not coming into my studios. And there's no offense to you. I got mad love for everybody, mad respect for everybody. It's been the Perfect Journey Podcast. It's your boy TPJ. Until next time, I am out. Peace.